watched him on television.
Right.
In the States, and, you know, he's a big, the big hit in the States. Big hit.
Now, some of your critics would say, you know, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This can hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, you know, because it's negative, and you're being negative. And I met the mayor,
right,
and nothing they can do about it.
We actually had a really good time. We talked about George Cervallo, who's a legend in your city, great man, with whom Mike spent quite a bit of time yesterday talking about his life, highs and lows.
It's so interesting because you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
that comment. I was a piece of fuck you. That's a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing live TV.
Hey, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
All right, you got a show that you're doing tonight.
We are.
You know, a lot of people
are. Where it comes raw and it's the real truth.
Yeah, a lot of
it's
people
the truth.
Be there to see your show. Just tell us a bit about it.
You know, it speaks for itself. Everyone saw the show.
All right. It's a Broadway production. It went to Vegas. It went to actually 28 cities in the United States. And we're really, really proud to bring it here. And we're actually going to Monaco on October 9th. We're going to be in Monte Carlo.
Right. Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me here talking to a rap piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece of shit.
All right.
Really
we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry. You're a champion. I respect that.
We must take the most stringent action available to us. $3 million and revocation of license.
My spirit was just gone to do anything else because I couldn't do what I truly love to do.
I make a motion that we grant Mr. Tyson's petition for reinstatement, that he be allowed to box again in the state of Nevada.
After a 19-month enforced hiatus, two-time heavyweight champion, the enigmatic yet always exciting Mike Tyson returned to the Las Vegas Strip to enter the third and most likely last chapter of his long and controversial career. Just a few hours ago, in this now empty ring at the MGM Grand Garden, we witnessed Mike Tyson's dramatic return to the ring in a struggle with a fearless former champion, Francois Botha. Hi, I'm Steve Albert. 14 years ago, an 18-year-old phenomenon entered a professional boxing ring. He became the youngest in heavyweight history to win the world title. No athlete in recent memory has consistently generated more excitement or created more controversy than Mike Tyson. His life has been acted out on the most public of stages, a challenge for the most sophisticated and mature of people, and a crushing burden to this complex and often confused young man. Now, at the age of 32, after 3 years in prison, 2 losses to Holyfield, the public humiliations of the hearings and examinations of the past year and a half, he faced former champion Francois Botha in the first test of this all-important second comeback. Mike Tyson has continued to confound, baffle, and confuse many of us who have closely covered his tumultuous career. And after all these years, the only thing we know for certain is that he is a puzzle. No one, not even himself, can solve. We stumbled upon this obscure quote from French philosopher Blaise Pascal. Perhaps this simple eloquence says everything there is to say.
He's disqualified. He's out. Look at me. I gotta go home. My kids are gonna be scared of me. Look at me, man.
I was frustrated, I was mad, I was blooded, I was bleeding, and I was a little dizzy, and I thought they were going to stop the fight, and I believed that he was doing it intentionally. I'm sorry, but shit, I'm human too. Nobody was defending me in there. Later on, like a week or two, as everything continued to escalate, I said, oh, I f***ed up. You know, I'm suspended. I'm screwed.
A further move that Mike Tyson be suspended.
For some reason, I feel like I'm Norman Bates up here with all the doctors and everything.
The maximum fine of $3 million and revocation of license.
I stayed in Brooklyn and Flatbush Avenue in Brownsville. I stayed there, but mostly the whole summer. I stayed in a retrospect, and I used to look back and see where I came from. So people get shot, see people fighting, see people quarreling over dice games. My dumb ass got in a dice game. I even got in some arguments. Yeah. And you know, man, I used to put myself back in perspective and said, this is a hell of a life.
I am so sorry.
Mr. Tyson has met his burden.
Trust me, this won't happen anymore,
I'm prepared to give you one last chance in Nevada.
I hear somebody say, you're the greatest, and I don't know who the hell they're talking about sometimes. But when you hear a million people telling you you're great every day, you know what I mean, sometimes that goes to your head. So I'm just trying to put everything in perspective. You have to understand, I come from a place where one moment I'm in a drug dealer's house and I got a bunch of people on the floor robbing. The next thing you know, I got my hand raised in the air and they said the youngest heavyweight champion in the world, and that's an overwhelming load to handle.
He is the youngest ever to win the heavyweight title, Mike Tyson!
I don't have big dreams and stuff like that. That's just not who I am. I just like to kick some ass, have some fun, you know what I mean? I just need to be Mike Tyson. And everything else is a foregone conclusion.
Those were the words of Blaise Pascal over 300 years ago. Of course, I don't think he had Mike Tyson in mind when he uttered those words. But what does the public think of Tyson today?
Big and bad.
Awesome. Disgusting. Macho man.
Vicious fury.
Laying it on, pouring it on.
Psycho.
Extraordinary.
About 30 different people.
Pig.
He's the best in the world.
You probably don't want me to say.
Trash talking.
How dare you talk to me like that? You should get up and kneel to me now, and I'll spare you the night of the 28th.
Mixed up.
Big, black, and hungry.
Question mark.
Unpredictable.
Very often hungry.
Fighting Holyfield in the right ear.
The ball.
Bulldog.
Very rock and roll. Incredible.
Ferocious.
Power.
I don't think I'd like to fight him myself.
And he is back, Mike Tyson!
Ouch.
When it comes to sheer excitement, there are few, if any, events like a Mike Tyson prize fight in Las Vegas. Here are just some of the sights and sounds we discovered this fight week.
Tyson by brutal knockout.
Go Bosa!
Kill this mother.
Get off this chip.
Tyson in 3.
Mike's still gonna knock him out.
TKO.
I can't wait for Saturday.
The white buffalo's extinct.
Go Bosa!
Tyson at the 6. Mike Tyson continues to fascinate.
Tyson. He's back.
Allahu Akbar.
233 pounds, 223 pounds.
So many of Tyson's opponents have lost before the first bell, frozen by terror and intimidation. Yet over his 9-year career, Francois Botha has earned a reputation for being a fearless and tenacious competitor, qualities we witnessed on this night. So as both combatants prepared for their 10-round bout here at the MGM Grand, each trying to gain a psychological edge, they entered into a war of words.
Y'all guys know what I do. Y'all know what I do. I put people in body bags when I'm right. So we know what's gonna happen.
I've never had any fear in me, and I believe that I can't be intimidated.
I never came in the ring trying to intimidate anybody. I just came in, presented myself. And whatever happened, if that happened, they choose to be intimidated, cool. Regardless of what happens, they're gonna get hit eventually.
And when I land, I know I'm getting it. I know with my power what I have too, that I can hit Mike and take him out.
My man's beefing. We heard this 15 years. I've been doing this. We've been hearing this from different guys. We'll see. We'll see.
Mike is right there, and he can't fight going back. And that inside fighting, that is his game plan, and he wants his hands free. And once you tie him up, Mike can't do nothing.
And I know you guys don't think he's gonna beat me. I know you don't think that. Regardless of my layoff, I know no one believes that.
I see Mike burning up most of his energy in the first few rounds because he wants that knockout. And then I see Mike slowing down after 3-4 rounds, slowing down. And then he's vulnerable.
People say anything, but the night the fight comes, I'm ready to rumble.